YouTube, what it do is your boy Benji, and we back with the crew. If you are new, please don't forget to subscribe. A lot of y'all know Anthony Mackie. He has had a lot of superstar roles, and he particularly blew up because of his roles in the Avengers. In the MCU, he did his thing, and he recently blew up because he made a comment about, I guess, American masculinity on this podcast, The Pivot. So I'm going to hear him out and see what he had to say. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe. You could follow me on multiple platforms too. Let's get it.
I keep my boys humble. Like, my boys have never had a pair of Jordans. You know, my boys don't do all that internet fly shit.
I think that already is painting the picture of what this clip is going to be. That's important. That's extremely important. You're not affirming to the people around you and what they believe to be cool, what the norm is of society and what people's expectations are of you simply because your dad is famous and then because your dad is not hurting for money. I want y'all to understand the importance of money and how hard it was for me to get to this point so that you guys aren't just living on my back and don't understand when things get hard, you just cry and pout. We work hard for our stuff over here, so I don't see the issue there.
I'm like your kids. And no, I don't give a, I could be the biggest star in the world. Do not let me catch you being stupid.
Absolutely. I mean, that's actually a detriment to your dad. Y'all know all the time when a lot of these kids blow up because of something dumb that they've done, a lot of who they are or what they've done is magnified because of who they're connected to. Whether that's a spouse, whether that's a parent, whether that's a son. At the end of the day, we're going to look at Anthony Mackie with some sense of dismay because of what his kids did.
Mm-hmm. Do not. And my oldest gets it. My 15-year-old, he tells the other ones, he's like, yo, don't make dad mad.
Facts.
Because once you get one that's right, he going to straighten the other ones out. Mm-hmm. So it's just that thing of, in the past 20 years, we've been living through the death of the American male. They have literally killed masculinity in our homes and our communities for one reason or another. But I raised my boys to be young men. And however you feel about that, you feel about that. Right. But my boys will always be respectful. They will always say, yes, sir, yes, ma'am. No, sir, no, ma'am. They will always say thank you. They will always open a door for a lady. They will always make sure that their mother is taken care and provided for. They will always be men. And that's always since they were 2 years old. Every time I left for a job, I tell my 15-year-old, you're the man of the house. You make sure these doors are locked every night, this alarm is on, you text me or you call me every night before you go to bed and you wake up.
I love that.
Because we're men. If I'm not there to protect, he got to be there to protect. Because you can have all the money in the world, climb through the window, that money means nothing. Right. You can have all the celebrity in the world, you jump through the door, that celebrity means nothing.
Right.
So you got to have a little guard in there, you know? And so for me, it's always that idea of American masculinity is very different.
Hold up. Yeah, it makes sense. I can understand it. I can absolutely understand it. I mean, I don't know how people made that connection to what he said, I guess, to be something bad. I think what he was saying was rooted in truth. We have completely changed what we perceive to be masculinity over the last couple of decades. I mean, we even have a thing called toxic masculinity. We believe that a lot of people's beliefs are just too deeply rooted in what the idea is of being a man. I think he's only affirming to the things that we positively would expect a man to do. I mean, y'all are all talking about how we want a man to protect and to provide. He's only giving his kids important tasks. I'm showing y'all the importance of work. I'm showing y'all the importance of showing up, being intentional, being purposeful and dutiful. We're going to enact upon having manners and being chivalrous. At the end of the day, we're treating the people around us right. Because at the end of the day, that's what we all are. We're all people. And you're not allotted any type of special anything because you're my son or because you're connected to me because I'm famous. I don't see the issue there. So it looks like there's a lot of talk about the community. We're going to get a small screen for this. What we got to talk about. N-words don't provide and protect anymore. Anthony Mackie, I teach my sons to learn how to provide for themselves with work ethic and teach them to provide and protect and to honor women, starting with their mother. Masculinity is toxic. This is not right. Clear difference between masculinity and toxic masculinity. Anthony Mackie's focus on raising his son to be respectful, responsible, and protective, like he mentioned, with keeping them humble and making his 15-year-old man of the house makes him a great role model. We need more men like this. Yeah, I mean, this is something that, I think is regular. I would assume. I mean, it's something that I would do. So he's a weirdo. 15-year-old is not a man of the house. That's so ridiculous to put adult pressures on a child. You can give them responsibility, but don't subject the kid to traumas of adulthood. Children are children, adults are adults for a reason. Well, I mean, hold on. Have y'all ever been in a position where your parents are not home? And, hey, this is serious. I don't want you all, that since I'm not here, to act as if everything is la daisy. And this is all fun and games. No. There's real people outside that may want to do bad things. I want y'all to understand the severity of that. When I leave the house. What are you talking about? Not buying your kids makes them drug dealers to get it themselves. What? He has also actively participated in the cause behind the death of American masculinity. His support of the Democratic Party. Okay. Let's hear this one. Let's hear what they got to say in the comments here. Raising the kids that should be raised is a weirdo now. It's always rainbow. Uh-oh. You identify as they, them. Uh-oh. Successful bait. Uh-oh. I think this is maybe why a lot of people in the community could become upset. I understand where it's coming from. However, our young black boys get taught that they are little boyfriends to their mom instead of their sons. I never tell my son he's the man of the house. I am the only man of the house. His job isn't to protect his mom. That's my job. His job isn't to... What? Isn't to provide for his mom. That isn't... He's not meant to be burdened by his parents. What y'all think? This is where I'm a little bit confused. Now, I think some people were bringing up some of the roles that he's played, but I think they were in reference to his brother, because he played a homosexual role, and I think it was Black Mirror, but I think, again, it was reference to his brother, and it kind of put him, I guess, in a position to understand, I guess, and get closer to that. That is his, who is his brother, Additionally, he's an actor. I mean, are we going to compare the things that he does in his regular life to an actor? I mean, if he acts in a movie as a robber, are we now going to compare that to his regular life? I don't understand how that connection is even present. This is why young black boys grow up with so much pressure to uphold the antiquated views of what masculinity looks like, and they end up lonely and depressed. It's okay to be a black man, just be yourself. You don't always have to be a man. Confusing respect with fear is a reason that this weird cycle continues. Such as no one has ever shown what respect looks like with compassion and unconditional love. It's kind of sad, and I'm sure this had to be edited heavily. This is interesting. Do you feel like being taught to take care of your mother, protecting your household, saying thank you, opening doors for ladies, and being respectful to elders is a hindrance to young boys developing into men? Think teaching literal children and teenage boys to behave like men and force them to trick boxes hinders their development and robs them of childhood. All things that I see is unnecessary to put your kid through, especially when you have a huge Hollywood actor. I don't think that's what he was saying, though. I think that he was only letting them know about the reality of life. Again, I don't think that you can have your kids only playing in sandboxes and act like, especially the 15-year-old, like, yo, real life is around the corner, bro. Again, I'm not really quite sure what the problem is, what he said. I think that it's more important that we watch the full interview. So shout out to the Pivot Podcast and Anthony Mackie. One more puzzle here before we go out. The death of American masculinity. I needed him to expand upon that because what do you mean? The acceptance of a group does not mean the obliteration of another. I think a lot of commentary has been made on this because it was recently a clip of Doechii talking about, I guess, being a straight man. And so a lot of people think that there's an attack on being a man. The system destroys American masculinity, woke ideology, judicial, prison system, social media, and more. Single mothers can instill the same love masculinity in the father. Single mothers shouldn't be stopping a man from being a father. That is on him. Again, woke ideology, being aware of his surroundings or speaking of his bad. Judicial prison system has affected the black men for decades. All media should be digested carefully. Don't let it raise your kids. I don't even know what the commentary is. I also just don't think that y'all actually listen to the clip and people are just finding reasons to be upset. I don't want y'all to be materialistic. I want you to have proper practices and safety that I want you to pass along to your younger siblings. You being the oldest person here, I want you to develop a sense of care. Develop a sense of understanding. And develop a purpose. But the smallest things I want you to do it just be on point. Cognizant of your surroundings and make sure that you're following these certain procedures. Lock the doors and let me know that you're waking up and that you're going to sleep. Think y'all took it too far. Let me know what y'all feel about it in the comments below.